Well, praise the Lord. God bless you. Pastor Roberto Bruno, pastor of the Central Apostolic Church, coming to you on Friday. I do like Fridays. Hopefully you do too. And I hope that you had a great week coming on up to this, because I am grateful that the week has come to an end. But besides that God has been with me, and I know He's been with you all week long. And the challenges, some of us the heartbreak, others of us just having a normal week. So God bless you. I read this quote from Epictetus, one of the Stoics, and it says this. It says, "The life you seek is hidden inside the discipline you avoid." The life you seek is hidden in the discipline you avoid. Years ago, when I was an assistant pastor and, the pastor of a English congregation, but, under the senior pastor, I knew that the topic of discipline, right, usually, in a church setting means a disciplined life, living a Christian life, avoiding, I guess, sin or destructive behaviors. And the word discipline always seemed like a dirty word. It just did. It was, associated with the standards that we live, in a Pentecostal church, some physical standards, some spiritual standards. And so I just know, for at least in my circle, discipline was something no one wanted to hear. Because it's work, right? It's denial. The easiest example is someone who's disciplined in their health, right? They eat clean, or as clean as possible. They go to the gym, take vitamins, stay in the sunshine. All of these things are a discipline that actually, lead to better health or losing some weight. And again, that's hard. I did just hear a statistic, and of course I'm not going to be able to remember the numbers, but there's a huge amount of Americans that have a gym membership, but only a fraction, like 1%, actually use their gym memberships. This isn't a talk about gyms, it's just a talk about discipline, living a disciplined life, and also, being the better for it. In Proverbs 25 and verse 28, it says this. It says, "A person without self-control is a city broken into and left without walls." Like, dang. That is, that's an interesting proverb, Without those things, it's basically, it's like a city that's just wide open, right? And I think it's true. For the longest time, and still am, I enjoy motivational speeches, motivational quotes, motivational movies. I like motivation because it motivates me. But motivation isn't something that keeps you going, right? You could watch a clip from the Rocky movie or a clip from some fight scene or something. Very motivating to go forward or to work out or whatever. But it can't keep you necessarily going. And I think as we serve the Lord and, given our lives to God and all of that, I think it's really valuable for us to live a life that, um, helps us to live better, right? And if that's, censoring what we see, or limiting or eliminating negativity in our heads and mind, pushing back away from things that are normal in the world, overeating or overindulging on, social media. The discipline really is the thing that makes us healthier. I've learned that for myself. I just want to eat whatever I want, or I want to consume any digital format or as much as I want. And it leaves us empty, right? Empty-handed. But I think it's in the work, of God is, I want to know more of God. I want to be closer to God. I want more of Him. And I think it comes from living a life, a disciplined life, and I think we're the better for it. We are. And just in a healthy wise, yeah, we get healthier, we're stronger, we can move around. But I think even spiritually, we are able to be more intimate with God, hear God's still voice more clearly. And so I just want to encourage you to consider, if you don't fast, maybe fast once a week, fast half a day, fast a meal. That's discipline. To listen or to read something, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Read a few passages in the Bible, or listen to some passages of the Bible on an audible system. To spend time with God in prayer, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. And it really is I know we as Christians, we've always heard that, but also just even disciplining our minds, that we are so quick to judge, or we're so quick to anger, but to kind of restrain those things in discipline. Because any effort that we make for God, any effort, is never in vain. It's never in vain. And so I just want you to be encouraged, brethren, as we go forward, right, in our Christian walk, that we seek strength. We seek strength because we're much stronger than we think. But with a little bit of discipline and a little bit of focus, we can really grow and have a more closer walk with God. God bless you.